deepfake case is what's keeping you on here.
Yeah, so the only reason I'm stuck in Korea is because of this GIF of two people kissing.
Yes. So it's like unfair, malicious prosecution, you know?
Because the two people that are claiming I made a deepfake about them, which I never created any deepfake, somebody posted a deepfake in my Discord and I showed it to my stream with my phone like that.
So Johnny Somali really walked into a Korean courtroom, looked a judge in the eyes, and decided that lying repeatedly under oath was somehow the smartest move he could make. And in doing so, he didn't just hurt his case, he detonated it, completely, spectacularly, in a way that might genuinely keep him stuck in South Korea for years. And honestly, watching this man self-destruct in real time might be the most satisfying internet arc we've seen all year. Johnny's most recent court date happened on October 29th, and this wasn't just another routine hearing. This was the moment where the court finally got to hear him speak at length, explain himself, and clarify his role in everything he's been accused of. And instead of helping himself, Johnny managed to turn what was already a terrible situation into an absolute legal nightmare.
Me and my Korean girlfriend, look, you see? Y'all jealous, y'all getting like this. Look at me, y'all really wish y'all had it like this.
This trial was originally supposed to include testimony from 3 key people: Johnny himself, his roommate Hank, and Bongbong, the Korean streamer who was targeted in the deepfake incident. But right away, things went sideways because Bongbong didn't show up. She wasn't sick, she wasn't avoiding the court out of fear, she was literally in Australia, traveling, living her life. And according to her own stream, her lawyer told her she didn't need to attend that day. She even openly said she didn't want to waste her time on Johnny Somali. Think about that for a second. Imagine being so universally disliked that the person you victimized doesn't even feel the need to show up to your trial. That's not just an L, that's complete irrelevance. But the court didn't stop just because she was absent. The judge proceeded with the testimony that was available. And this is where Johnny absolutely buried himself. According to legal observers and people who were physically in the courtroom, Johnny's testimony was a masterclass in how not to behave in front of a judge.
I want to ask you if there's any way we could do expedited trial, because I've already been here for over 1 year in travel ban. I have family, I have obligations in America, and I want to have the right to a speedy trial.
From the very beginning, he relied on the same tactic over and over again. I don't know and I don't remember. Except the problem was he was using those answers for questions he very obviously knew the answers to. When asked about the distribution of the deepfake content, Johnny tried to hide behind a technicality. He claimed police had already confirmed he didn't create the deepfakes, as if that somehow made him innocent. What he either didn't understand, or pretended not to, is that under Korean law, distribution is just as illegal as creation. You don't get a free pass for spreading harmful content just because you didn't personally make it. And the judge made that very clear. Johnny kept repeating that he didn't make the deepfakes like it was some kind of magic shield, completely ignoring the fact that there is literal video evidence of him showing the content on stream, laughing about it, bragging about it, and humiliating Bongbong in front of thousands of viewers. At one point, he even tried to claim that Bongbong herself distributed the deepfakes first. Yes, really. He blamed the victim in a courtroom, with evidence playing against him.
What happened now was Johnny pressed charges against Youngman. Youngman is one of the people who pressed charges against him for the deepfakes. So currently Johnny is facing 2 counts of deepfake charges. One is from the Korean streamer by the name of Bongbong, and the other one is from the Korean streamer by the name of Youngman.
And it didn't stop there. He then claimed that Bongbong leaked his address, but almost immediately contradicted himself by saying he didn't even know his own address, meaning he couldn't possibly confirm whether it had been leaked. He contradicted himself in the same line of testimony. This wasn't subtle, this wasn't confusion, this was a judge watching a defendant twist himself into knots trying to dodge accountability. Then came the baton incident, the alleged assault involving Johnny, Bongbong's associate Youngman, and Johnny's own roommate Hank. Johnny described it as the scariest day of his life, a traumatic experience, a moment of fear. Yet when asked for basic details, he suddenly couldn't remember anything important. He couldn't remember who brought the baton. He couldn't remember how it appeared. He couldn't remember key moments of the confrontation, which is incredibly convenient because video evidence shows that Hank, Johnny's roommate, was the one who brought the baton to the scene. Either Johnny was lying to protect his friend, or his memory only fails when the truth hurts his case. Either way, the judge wasn't buying it. And then Johnny did something that honestly stunned people in the courtroom. Mid-testimony, he tried to submit video evidence on the spot. Just casually pulled it out like he was showing a clip on stream. That's not how court works, at all. The judge had to repeatedly stop him and explain procedure. which only made him look even worse. By this point, the hearing had basically turned into a judicial interrogation. The judge kept pointing out inconsistencies. She kept asking follow-up questions. Johnny kept dodging. It was a slow, methodical dismantling of his credibility. But somehow he wasn't done embarrassing himself. After all of this, after lying, contradicting himself, blaming the victim, and ignoring the judge's warnings, Johnny stood up and asked for an expedited trial. He said he needed to return to the United States because of family obligations. That might be the boldest lie he's ever told. This is the same Johnny Somali whose own parents have publicly distanced themselves from him. His father has openly told him to stop traveling abroad and causing problems. Johnny himself has admitted on stream that his family is furious with him and wants nothing to do with his behavior. So when he stood there and claimed he needed to rush home for family, the manipulation was obvious, and the judge shut it down immediately. She calmly explained that foreign defendants in Korea often wait years for their trials to conclude, some up to 2 years or more. Johnny was not special. He was not entitled to preferential treatment. His request was denied. That single moment said everything. The court does not care about Johnny's excuses, his internet persona, or his American entitlement. And his lawyer, completely ineffective. Johnny's attorney spent nearly half an hour arguing about a charge Johnny had already pleaded guilty to, claiming that the disruption at the amusement ride shouldn't count because it lasted 10 to 15 minutes instead of 30. That argument is meaningless under Korean law. Obstruction of business doesn't require a minimum time. If you disrupt operations at all, you're guilty. Johnny caused security to respond, shut down a ride, and made inappropriate comments in front of children. The judge dismissed the argument instantly. Now here's where things go from bad to catastrophic. The court scheduled the next hearing for February 11th, 2026. That's more than 3 months away. And that's not even the final trial date. That date exists primarily in hopes that Bong Bong will attend, but she's already shown she's willing to skip court to travel. If she doesn't show again, the trial gets delayed again. And again, and again. Johnny has already been stuck in Korea for over a year. Add 3 more months, add potential delays, add closing arguments, add sentencing. Legal experts are saying this case could easily stretch into summer 2026 or beyond. That means Johnny could realistically be stuck in Korea for 2 years or more, before even factoring in possible prison time. And even Hank, the so-called tough guy roommate, cracked under pressure. He requested to testify in a private room because he was scared of spectators. The same guy who brings batons to confrontations suddenly needs protection in a courtroom. After the hearing, when reporters tried to speak to Johnny, he didn't show remorse, he didn't reflect. He lashed out and insulted people's families, the same behavior that got him here in the first place. So where does this leave Johnny Somali? Stuck, indefinitely, facing up to 12 years in prison. No sympathy from the court, no urgency from the system, no escape route left. This isn't cancel culture, this isn't internet drama. This is the natural consequence of months of harassment, disrespect, cultural ignorance, and ego. Reality finally caught up, and when it didn't tap him on the shoulder. It slammed him into the ground and made sure he stayed there. Sometimes karma isn't poetic. Sometimes it's procedural, slow, and brutal. And watching someone who built their entire online presence on chaos finally face real consequences? That's not just justice, that's accountability. So what do you think? Does Johnny deserve to be stuck in Korea for years, or did he finally cross a line he can't come back from? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.